Hi there, my lovely sleepy squirrels. I hope that you are all well. Welcome to this evening's video. This is a special video because it is Angie's custom. Hey Angie, I hope you're well, and I hope that you enjoy this video very much. And she has requested some lovely book sounds with the Lord of the Rings box set. So this is not going to be like the unboxing with the full unboxing and the everything like that, but there will be a lot of book scratching on the hardcovers, for example, some blurb reading, just some chat. And this is supposed to be a fully whispered video, but I might slip into soft-spoken a little, just from habit. Sorry, Angie. I'll try my best. And there was a little request for some glass sounds also, so what I did is I made myself a little cup of tea. Raspberry and pomegranate green tea from Ahmad. And I made it in this glass mug. It's actually a Fantastic Beasts mug, but that's fine. So I'll have a few little glass sounds as we go, and I'll have some tea. So I'll pop that there for now. So I still have not read this full trilogy. I've read the first one when I was younger, and I've seen all of the films, and I haven't watched the series. I will do though. I will watch it sometime soon. And I will end up reading all of these. Not so sure about the Reader's Companion. Maybe like just flick through it more than read it through. But I've definitely watched the films many times over. And I've watched even the extended editions of the films. And I will one day read them all. I'm going to spend a little time on this outer box because it actually has the same texture as like a hardcover book. You know, like the what do you call it? Like a woven texture to it. I think I'll actually spend a few minutes just on this outer box, maybe with a no-talking section like the cardboard sounds in my other videos. So if you just want to have a little closer look at the books, maybe some more whispering and some blurb reading with the book sounds, feel free to skip ahead. Timestamps are down below. Otherwise, enjoy. now that we are hopefully nice and relaxed, shall we take some of these books out? First, you can see here in the front, J.R.R. Tolkien. It's funny because I said the Lord of the Rings, the Lord of the Rings, the Lord of the Rings, the Lord of the Rings. A Reader's Companion, Wayne C. No, Wayne G. Hammond and Christina Skull is written on that side. Is it the same? Yeah, it's the same on the other side. And then on the back, you have the 3 rings here. Is it fire or is it just like little bows? I don't know. You have the elven writing around. Maybe Sauron. I don't know. A little glass break. A little tea break. And then we can lift. And hope they don't all fall out at once. Oh, they stay up quite well. Let's see if they stay up like that. That sounds so good. It's a very warm, kind of papery sound. Well, it is paper, so, but you know what I mean. It's a warm sound. Very cozy sound. Fellowship of the Ring, the 2 Towers. this one, the companion, first. I would probably have done it in the order of the books and put this one last, but this is not an unboxing. The Lord of the Rings, a reader's companion. Definitive annotated companion to the Lord of the Rings. It is not possible, even at great length, to put the Lord of the Rings into a paragraph or two. It was begun in 1937, and every part has been written many times. Hardly a word in its 600,000 or more has been unconsidered, and the placing, size, style, and contribution to the whole of the features, incidents, and chapters has been laboriously pondered. I do not say this in recommendation. It is, I feel, only too likely that I am deluded, lost in a web of vain imaginings, of not much value to others, in spite of the fact that a few readers have found it good on the whole. What I intend to say is this: I cannot substantially alter the thing. I have finished it. It is off my mind. The labor has been colossal, and it must stand or fall practically as it is. G. R. Tolkien. 1951. 1951. Okay, let's remove its dust cover. Should I read this too before? Maybe at the same time as scratching on this. Wayne G. Hammond is assistant librarian in the Chapin Books, in the Chapin Library of Rare Books, Williams College, and the author of standard biographies of J.R.R. Tolkien and Arthur Ransom. His wife, Christina Scull, is the former librarian of Sir John Soane's Museum, London, the editor of the occasional magazine, The Tolkien Collector. Together, they have written J.R.R. Tolkien, Artist and Illustrator, the 2-volume J.R.R. Tolkien Companion and Guide, and The Art of the Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, compiled the new index to Tolkien's published letters, and edited editions of The Lord of the Rings, Roverandom, Farmer Giles of Ham, and the Adventures of Tom Bombadil. The art on the cover of this book was drawn by Tolkien in 1954 for an experimental dust jacket for the Fellowship of the Ring. It shows a ribbon running behind the central ring of Sauron, said Mr. Butterbur. I'm run off my feet. This is to be very busy, to be kept constantly on the move. It will be noted that Butterbur likes to use commonplace sayings. This is very sweet. Also, could be really nice for someone that reads this in English but doesn't know all the context, I guess, for like a lot of British things, like especially if you're going from a completely different language, because I feel like if you're Australian or American or Canadian, you would probably know most of the sayings anyway, or even use them, but he is one of my order. See note for page 48. Gandalf, he cried, uncouth, odd, strange. I have an urgent errand, he said. The 9 are abroad again. They have crossed the river secretly and are moving westward. Gandalf's account will make it clear that this meeting with Radagast took place on the same day that he wrote to Frodo from Bree, i.e. Mid-Year's Day, only 12 days after the Sauron attack on Osgiliath. In the first edition of The Lord of the Rings, The Tale of Years placed their meeting 3 days earlier on June 29th. This raises some problems with chronology, of which Tolkien himself became aware when writing his accounts of the hunt for the ring. Market MSS 4235, a mainly unpublished text trailing into illegibility, shows Tolkien working on a solution to the problem. Yeah, this is very geeky stuff. Like, you really need to be very interested to really want to go into all of this. And I'm not like a mega fan. I do love Lord of the Rings. If I was a mega fan, I probably would have already read all 3 of these, maybe. But I'm okay just being a fan and not a mega fan. I'm still interested in a few of these little things in here. I am the lawful master of the stone. The strength was enough, barely. The moon will then be 2 nights past his full. In additions, prior to 2005, the final words in this passage read, 1 night past his full, but the full moon was on 7/8 March, and Theoden arrived at Dunharrow on the evening of the 9th and 10th, 2 nights later. Barbara Strachey notes this problem in Journeys of Frodo, and the need for alteration accords with the discrepancies of shadows of earlier chronologies. index defines the barrow field, written barrow field, as a field before Eridus, beside showdown, no showbird, where the king's mound stood, then the riders of the king's house, Cleowine, Old English, lover of music, lover of minstrelsy, lover of minstrelsy, from Kaleo, music, song, wine, friend, when the burial was over. I feel like it's almost like I'm doing nonsensical reading, like, what do you call it? Just, what's the word? The ASMR term for like saying stuff but it doesn't mean, like it doesn't have to mean whatever. But it just seems a little random sometimes, just like reading each little definition, a little thing. Unintelligible, whisper, that kind of thing could be classed as that. Plus, if I read like that, like without taking like really a long time to do it, I get the words all muddled up and say different words when it's not, that kind of thing. Could work like that. Raiment, an archaic word for clothing. Maybe we should do some these big sounds at the same time. Baron came from mountains cold, Baron, Cinderin, bold, valiant, was the last survivor of a small band of outlaws who had resisted Morgoth in the forested northern Ireland called Dorthonion. He endured a terrible journey south through the arid Gorgoroth and found his way into the realm of Doriath, ruled by Luthien's father, the Alvin River, the Escodian minstrels, elvish robe, etc. As well, capitals and lowercase about evenly divided in occurrences. When editing the edition of 2004, we considered that some uses of elvish, as in elvish air, are of a more general nature. I do not necessarily mean of the elves, but most of the instances cited seem more mysterious creeping figure that follows wherever they go. We know who that is, don't we? Creeping, creepy figure. And lastly, the return of the king. The Return of the King is the third part of J.R.R. Tolkien's epic adventure, The Lord of the Rings. The companions of the ring have become involved in separate adventures as the quest continues. Aragorn revealed as the hidden heir of the ancient kings of the West. Spoilers. Joined with the riders of Rohan against the forces of Isengard and took part in the desperate victory of the Hornburg. Merry and Pippin, captured by orcs, escaped into Fangorn Forest, where they encountered the Ents. Gandalf returned miraculously and defeated the evil wizard Sauron. Meanwhile, Sam and Frodo progressed towards Mordor to destroy the ring, accompanied by Smeagol Gollum, still obsessed by his precious. After a battle with the giant spider Shelob, Sam left his master for dead, but Frodo is still alive in the hands of the orcs. And all the time the armies of the Dark Lord are massing. Ominous, very ominous. I honestly can't wait until my son is old enough for all of this. I cannot wait. What age would you let your children like listen to, like either read or watch The Hobbit? I wonder if watching the films is a little easier on the imagination. Like sometimes I feel like things in books, hold on, we'll go back to the other way around. Things in books can be creepier. Like I find Harry Potter a bit creepier in the books, just like because your imagination can be a little more, you know, can kind of go more places and creep you out than the films. So maybe the same would be for Lord of the Rings. I don't know. Okay. Shall we do the outro with these scratchy textured spines? And we can say bye to our tea. And I drank half of my tea and now it's cold. It's a cold tea now. I can just put some ice in it and make it some iced tea after I've done filming. Okay, let's do the spine. access to all of the ad-free content over there, the behind the scenes, the monthly Patreon, the live book club, etc. But you also have access to purchase your own custom video, and it is a full ASMR video like this one for 30 euros. Okay, so if you made it to this point in the video without falling asleep, which it's a pretty long video, so good job. If you made it here first time,